JDW Blood Rumble 13th show of 2022 by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to the 13th show of Blood Rumble. And tonight we have some great matches in store for you, said announcer number 2. That's right. Tonight we find out who our new number 1 contenders are gonna be. With 3 battle royals and a tag team match, said announcer number 1. Man, I can't wait to see these matches, said announcer number 2. We don't have to wait much longer. Let's head to the ring, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a 10-women battle royale and is a number 1 contenders match for the ladies championship. Introducing the challengers: Raven, Luna, Angel, Ivory, Obsession, Gemini, Blue Rose, Tempest, Mantra and Coral, said announce number 3. Bell dings. All 10 women are attacking each other. Here we go. One of these lucky women will face Willow for their title, said announcer number 1. I can't wait to find out who, said announcer number 2. Ivory is punching Raven. Raven knees Ivory's stomach, then bounces her head off of the top turnbuckle. Ivory groans. Raven climbs onto the second rope, then continuously punches Ivory. Ivory blocks, then throws Raven over the top rope. Raven is holding onto the top rope, then pulls herself up onto the ledge of the ring. Ivory punches Raven. Raven is swaying on the ledge of the ring, then shoulder blocks Ivory's stomach. Ivory groans. Raven climbs up the turnbuckle, then sets Ivory up for a suplex. Ivory punches Raven. Raven groans. Ivory is punching Raven. Raven is swaying on the second turnbuckle. Ivory climbs onto the second rope, then sets Raven up for a suplex. This is a dangerous position, said announcer number 1. Raven blocks the suplex, then goes to suplex Ivory. Ivory blocks it, then suplexes Raven into the ring. Both Ivory and Raven are groaning. Man, that looked like it hurt, said announcer number 2. Raven pulls herself up with the ropes. Obsession picks Ivory up, knees her stomach, then lifts her over her head. Look at the strength of Obsession. Raven stands up against the ropes. Obsession throws Ivory onto Raven. Both Ivory and Raven go over the top rope, then land onto the floor. Both Ivory and Raven are eliminated, said announcer number 1. I'm so impressed with Obsession, said announcer number 2. Gemini approaches from behind Obsession, turns her, then goes for a jumping cutter. Obsession pushes Gemini. Gemini bounces off of the ropes, then runs at Obsession. Obsession lifts Gemini over her head, walks towards the ropes, then throws her onto both Ivory and Raven. Man, look at that. Just eliminated Gemini that easily, said announce number 1. Luna is punching Tempest. Tempest is groaning. Luna bounces Tempest off of the ropes. Tempest reverses it, then beans over. Luna kicks Tempest's chest. Tempest groans, then stands up. Luna lifts Tempest, then slams her onto the mat. Tempest groans. Luna runs, bounces off of the ropes, jumps up, then goes for body splash onto Tempest. Tempest moves. Luna lands face first onto the mat, then groans. Tempest stands up, bounces off of the ropes, then does a diving forearm onto Luna. Luna groans. Tempest picks Luna up, then throws her over the top rope. Luna lands onto the floor. There goes Luna, said announcer number 2. Mantra is punching Obsession. Obsession is groaning. Mantra runs, bounces off of the ropes, then goes to spear Obsession. Obsession puts her left knee up. Mantra runs into Obsession's left knee, then groans. Blue Rose kicks Obsession's stomach. Obsession groans. Blue Rose whips Obsession. Obsession reverses it. Knees Blue Rose's stomach, then lifts her up over her head. Mantra is standing up next to the ropes. Obsession throws Blue Rose onto Mantra. Both Blue Rose and Mantra go over the top rope, then land onto the floor. Oh my God, Obsession did it again, said announcer number 2. Tempest continuously punching Obsession. Obsession continuously groaning. Tempest bounces Obsession off of the ropes. Obsession reverses it, then beans over. Tempest kicks Obsession chest. Obsession groans, then stands up. Tempest runs at Obsession. Obsession sidesteps Tempest, then throws her over the top rope. Tempest lands onto the ledge of the ring, grabs Obsession's head, then hangs her off the top rope. Obsession gasps, then walks away. Coral goes to punch Tempest. Tempest punches Coral. Angel runs, then shoulder blocks Tempest. Tempest falls off of the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. There goes Tempest, said announcer number 1. Coral is holding her mouth, then turns around. Obsession lifts Coral over her head, walks towards the ropes, then throws her onto Tempest. We're down to 2, said announcer number 2. One of these women will face Willow for the ladies' championship, said announcer number 1. Angel lifts Obsession over the top rope. Obsession lands onto the ledge of the ring. Angel is punching Obsession. Obsession is groaning. Angel runs, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then goes for a shoulder block Obsession. Obsession knees Angel's head. Angel groans, then leans against the ropes. Obsession wraps her arms around Angel, then throws her over the top rope. Angel lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner, Obsession, said announcer number 3. Wow, Willow needs to worry now, because now she has Obsession to deal with, said announcer number 1. I'm worried and I'm a man, said announcer number 2. Well folks, up next, a number 1 contenders match for the tag title, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. Wait. Oh my God. Both Digger and Suave appear, then raise their title. They're here, said announcer number 2. Both Digger and Suave walk around the ring, then towards the announce table. Evening, gentlemen, said Digger. Man, it's great to see you guys here, said announcer number 2. Thanks, said Suave. So, are you gonna be watching number 1 contenders match? Asked announcer number 1. That's why we're here, said Digger. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall and is a number 1 contenders match for the tag team championship. Introducing the challengers first, Wolf and King, and their opponents, the Hyena and Blueprint, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. Both the Hyena and Wolf are staring at each other. Animal versus animal, said announcer number 2. Both the Hyena and Wolf lock up. The Hyena is pushing Wolf. Wolf stops, then starts pushing the Hyena. The Hyena stops. Both the Hyena and Wolf push each other. These two have the same strength, said announcer number 1. Both the Hyena and Wolf lock up again. The Hyena puts a headlock onto Wolf. Wolf groans, then bounces the Hyena off of the ropes. The Hyena shoulder blocks Wolf. Wolf stares at the Hyena, then goes to punch him. The Hyena ducks, then runs. Wolf turns around. The Hyena bounces off of the ropes, then clotheslines Wolf. Wolf falls onto the mat, then stands up. The Hyena clotheslines Wolf again. Wolf groans. The Hyena picks Wolf up, then whips him. Wolf reverses it. The Hyena goes into the corner. Wolf runs at the Hyena. The Hyena boots Wolf. Wolf staggers away. The hyena jumps onto the second rope, leaps off, then goes for a crossbody onto Wolf. Wolf catches the hyena in his arms, then does a power slam onto the hyena. The hyena groans. Wolf covers the hyena. 1, 2. The hyena kicks out. 2, said referee number 2. Wolf stands up, picks the hyena up, twists his right arm, then holds out his left hand. King tags Wolf's left hand, goes through the middle rope, then elbows the hyena's right arm. The hyena groans, then walks towards the corner. King chops the hyena's chest. The hyena groans. King whips the hyena into the opposite corner. The hyena groans. King runs at the hyena. The hyena moves. King goes face first into the corner. The hyena runs, bounces off of the ropes, then does a jumping clothesline onto King. Both King and the hyena are laying on the mat. Who's gonna be the first one on their feet? Asked announcer number 1. Both King and the hyena are slowly moving. King punches the hyena. The hyena groans, then punches King. King groans, then punches the hyena. The hyena groans, then kicks King's stomach. King groans, then bends over. The hyena runs, bounces off of the ropes. Blueprint tags the hyena's back. The hyena goes for a knee lift onto King. King moves, then clotheslines the hyena. Blueprint appears on the top rope. King, look out, said Wolf, pointing. King turns around. Blueprint jumps off the top turnbuckle, then does a crossbody onto King. 1, 2. Wolf kicks Blueprint's back. 2. Get out of the ring, Wolf, said referee number 2. Wolf starts going through the middle rope. Blueprint knees the side of Wolf's head. Wolf falls onto the floor. Blueprint turns around, then picks King up. King wraps his hands around Blueprint's head, then does a jawbreaker onto him. Blueprint groans, then turns around. King rolls Blueprint up. Blueprint kicks out. Both Blueprint and King stand up. Blueprint kicks King's stomach. King groans. Blueprint runs, bounces off of the ropes, then boots the left side of King's head. King falls onto the mat, then groans. Both the hyena and Wolf are punching each other outside of the ring. Wolf goes to punch the hyena. The hyena ducks. Wolf turns around. The hyena lifts Wolf onto his shoulders. Wolf is squirming, lands onto his feet behind the hyena, then pushes him into the announce table. The hyena turns around. Wolf runs at the hyena. The hyena sidesteps Wolf. Wolf goes over the announce table, then into both Digger and Suave. Oh, right into the tag champions, said announcer number 2. Blueprint is smiling. King stands up, turns Blueprint around, then goes to punch him. Blueprint blocks, kicks King's stomach, then sets up for a suplex. Looks like he wants to put this away, said announcer number 1. Blueprint wraps his arms around King's right leg. The stalker slides into the ring, then swings a steel chair. The steel chair hits Blueprint's back. Blueprint falls onto the mat. King is staggering. The stalker swings the steel chair. The steel chair hits King's head. The hyena slides into the ring, tackles the stalker onto the mat, then starts punching the stalker. Damon jumps over the barricade, slides into the ring, then attacks the hyena. Both Digger and Suave throw Wolf into the barricade. Wolf groans. Come on, said Digger. Both Digger and Suave slide into the ring, then start attacking Blueprint and King. Damon throws the hyena into the ring post. The hyena falls outside of the ring. Damon helps the stalker stand up. Suave throws Blueprint through the middle rope. Digger kicks King's stomach, runs, bounces off of the ropes, then does a scissors kick onto him. Suave goes through the middle rope, stands onto the ledge of the ring, jumps up, then does a springboard body splash onto King. King groans. Both Digger and Suave are staring at both Damon and the Stalker. Well, that was very interesting, said announcer number 2. Yeah, and we didn't find out who's gonna be number 1 contender, said announce number 1. Stalker ruins everything anymore, said announcer number 2. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is an 8-man battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the US Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers: Gargoyle, Hercules, the Pursuer, Smite, Morphos, Dominion, Hellfire, and Predator, said announcer number 3. Beldings. All 8 men are attacking each other. Here we go with the US Continental Battle Royale, said announcer number 1. I can't wait to see who wins this thing. Domino runs at Gargoyle. Gargoyle head-butts Domino. Domino groans. Gargoyle picks Domino up, then throws him over the top rope. Domino lands onto the floor. I don't think Domino is lucky, said announcer number 2. Me neither, said announcer number 1. Hercules lifts Smite over his head, then throws him onto the mat. Morphos is punching Hellfire. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto Morphos. Morphos gasps. Hellfire grabs Morphos by his throat, lifts him, then chokeslams him. Both Hellfire and Hercules bump into each other, turn around, then stare at one another. Here's a fight, said announcer number 2. Hercules punches Hellfire. Hellfire punches Hercules. Hercules runs, bounces off of the ropes, then tries clothes lining Hellfire. Hellfire staggers backwards into the ropes, bounces off of them, then tries clothes lining Hercules. Hercules staggers. Hellfire runs, then bounces off of the ropes again. Hercules lifts Hellfire onto his right shoulder. Hellfire lands onto his feet behind Hercules. Hercules turns around. Hellfire grabs Hercules by his throat. Hercules gasps. Hellfire goes to lift Hercules. Hercules back elbows Hellfire's head. Hellfire lets go of Hercules. Hercules lifts Hellfire onto his left shoulder again, then walks towards the ropes. That's power right there, said announcer number 1. Hellfire lands onto his feet behind Hercules. Hercules turns around. Hellfire runs at Hercules. Hercules pulls down the top rope. Hellfire goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Hellfire's eliminated, said announcer number 2. The Pursuer is punching Gargoyle. Gargoyle is groaning. The Pursuer runs, bounces off of the ropes, then tries clothes lining Gargoyle. Gargoyle staggers. The Pursuer runs, then bounces off of the ropes again. Gargoyle lifts the Pursuer onto his left shoulder. The Pursuer is squirming, then lands onto his feet behind Gargoyle. Gargoyle turns around. The Pursuer kicks Gargoyle's stomach, then sets up for a DDT. Here comes the DDT, said announcer number 1. Gargoyle lifts the Pursuer, runs towards the ropes, then throws him over the top. The Pursuer lands onto the floor, then rolls. Gargoyle is standing next to the ropes. Predator runs up to Gargoyle, then lifts him over the top rope. Gargoyle lands onto the floor. Oh my God! Predator eliminated Gargoyle, said announcer number 2. Predator turns around. Gargoyle climbs onto the ledge of the ring. Predator turns around. Gargoyle grabs Predator's throat, then throws him over the top rope. Predator lands onto the floor. Predator pounds his fists onto the floor, stands up, then pushes gargoyle. Gargoyle pushes predator. This is getting out of hand, said announcer number 1. Both Morphos and Smite look at each other, then at Hercules. That's right. Get the big guy out first, said announcer number 2. Smite runs at Heracles. Hercules clotheslines Smite. Morphos kicks Hercules's stomach, then whips him. Hercules reverses it, then lifts Morphos up. Morphos lands face first onto the mat, then groans. Hercules picks Morphos up, then punches him. Morphos goes into the ropes. Smite jumps onto Hercules's back, then locks in a sleeper hold onto him. Hercules tries reaching for Smite. Smite tightens the sleeper hold. Hercules groans, then runs backwards into the corner. Smite groans, then lets go of Hercules. Hercules is coughing. Morphos runs at Hercules. Hercules moves. Morphos does a corner body splash onto Smite. Smite falls onto the mat. Morphos looks down at Smite, then turns around next to the ropes. Hercules runs, then clotheslines Morphos over the top rope. Morphos lands onto the floor. There goes Morphos. And now we're down to 2, said announcer number 1. Hercules looks at Smite. Smite better pray right now, said announcer number 2. Smite slowly pulls himself up with the ropes. Hercules runs, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then goes to boot Smite. Smite goes limp, then falls onto the mat. Hercules goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner, Smite, said announcer number 3. Smite groans, then stands up. Referee number 3 raises Smite's right arm. I don't even think Smite knows what happened, said announcer number 1. Yeah, he was just standing there, then collapsed to the mat, said announcer number 2. And with Hercules's momentum, that's what made him go over the top rope. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is an 8-man battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the Galaxy Championship. Introducing the challengers: the Governor, Dynamite, the Guns, the Bodyguard, Havoc, Wrath Hog, Thump, and Crazy Eyes, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. All 8 men are attacking each other. Wrath Hog is punching Dynamite. Dynamite is groaning. Wrath Hog whips Dynamite, then lifts him up onto his left shoulder. Dynamite lands onto his feet behind Wrath Hog. Wrath Hog turns around. Dynamite kicks Wrath Hog's stomach. Wrath Hog groans. Dynamite runs, bounces off of the ropes, then goes for a knee lift onto Wrath Hog. Wrath Hog moves. Dynamite turns around next to the ropes. Wrath Hog clotheslines Dynamite over the top rope. Dynamite lands onto the ledge of the ring. Wrath Hog walks away, then holds up his arms. He's not gone, Wrath Hog. Wrath Hog turns around, sees Dynamite on the ledge of the ring, then runs at him. Dynamite pulls down the top rope. Wrath Hog goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. But you're gone, said announcer number 2. The Governor goes to spear Thump. Thump jumps over the Governor, runs, then bounces off of the ropes. The Governor spears Thump. Oh God, he split him in half, said announcer number 1. Crazy Eyes is untying the middle turnbuckle pad, then turns around. The Governor stands up, then goes to spear Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes jumps over the Governor. The Governor goes into the exposed turnbuckle, holds his left arm, then stands up. Crazy Eyes grabs the Governor from behind, then throws him over the top rope. The Governor lands onto the floor. The Bodyguard clotheslines Dynamite, grabs Crazy Eyes by his throat, lifts him, chokeslams him, then boots Havoc. The Gun's shoulder blocks the Bodyguard. The bodyguard goes into the ropes. The guns tries. Clothes lining the bodyguard over the top rope. The bodyguard is swaying on the top rope. The guns tries clothes lining the bodyguard over the top rope again. The bodyguard continues swaying on the top rope. The guns tries clothes lining the bodyguard over the top rope a third time. The bodyguard grabs the guns by his throat. "You can't get rid of me that easily," said the bodyguard. The guns kicks the bodyguard's testicles. The bodyguard groans. The gun runs, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then shoulder blocks the bodyguard. The bodyguard goes into the ropes. The group starts lifting the bodyguard over the top rope. The bodyguard lands onto the floor. "The bodyguard's gone," said announcer number 2. The group is high-fiving each other. Crazy Eyes kicks Thump's stomach, then throws him over the top rope. Thump lands onto the ledge of the ring. The gun stands up, then looks at the bodyguard. The bodyguard is staring at the guns. Dynamite drop kicks the guns' back. The guns goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Dynamite is kicking the guns. The guns punches Dynamite's stomach. Dynamite groans. The bodyguard grabs the guns' tights, then pulls him off of the ledge of the ring. The guns lands onto the floor, then looks up at the bodyguard. The bodyguard is laughing. The gun stands up, then attacks the bodyguard. The referees are trying to break up both the bodyguard and the guns. Dynamite appears on the top turnbuckle. "What the hell's Dynamite doing?" asked announcer number 1. The group looks up at Dynamite. Dynamite jumps off the top turnbuckle, then lands onto the group. "Dynamite just eliminated himself," said announcer number 2. Crazy Eyes continues kicking Thump. Thump is groaning. Stands up, then the shoulder blocks Crazy Eyes' stomach. Crazy Eyes groans, then walks backwards. Thump jumps up, then does a springboard crossbody onto Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes groans. Havoc picks Thump up. Thump moves Havoc's arms, then does a jumping side kick to the right side of his head. Havoc falls onto the mat. Thump slowly stands up. Crazy Eyes runs at Thump. Thump lifts Crazy Eyes over the top rope. Crazy Eyes lands onto the ledge of the ring, then locks in a sleeper hold onto Thump. Thump is struggling. Crazy Eyes is laughing. "Man, he really is a crazy person," said announcer number 1. Thump continues struggling, grabs Crazy Eyes' head, then hangs him onto the top rope. Crazy Eyes is swaying on the ledge of the ring. Thump stands up, jumps, then does a kick to the left side of Crazy Eyes' head. Crazy Eyes falls off of the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. "Crazy Eyes is gone," said announcer number 2. "We're down to 2, said announcer number 1. Thump slowly stands up next to the ropes, then turns around. Havoc runs, then clotheslines Thump over the top rope. Thump lands onto the ledge of the ring. Havoc grabs Thump. Thump moves Havoc's arms, then punches him. Havoc groans. Thump jumps up. Havoc quickly punches Thump. Thump lands onto the ledge of the ring, then holds onto the middle rope. Havoc is kicking Thump. Thump continues holding onto the middle rope. Havoc sticks his torso through the middle rope, then picks Thump up. Thump punches Havoc. Havoc punches Thump. Thump is groaning. Havoc sets Thump up for a suplex, then lifts him up. Thump is shaking his legs, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Havoc lifts Thump again. Thump lands onto his feet behind Havoc, wraps his arms around his head, then does a neck breaker onto him. Both Havoc and Thump are laying on the mat. "This is incredible," said announcer number 2. "Both men are down. Who's gonna be challenging the man?" asked announcer number 1. Both Havoc and Thump are slowly standing up. Crazy Eyes slides into the ring with a steel chair. "Hey, get him out of there," said announcer number 2. Thump stands up. Crazy Eyes swings the steel chair. Thump ducks. Crazy Eyes turns around then swings the steel chair again. Thump ducks again. The steel chair hits Havoc's head. Havoc falls onto the mat. Crazy Eyes looks down at Havoc, then turns around. Thump jumps, then kicks the right side of Crazy Eyes' head. Crazy Eyes rolls outside of the ring. Havoc slowly pulls himself up with the ropes, then turns around. Thump drop kicks Havoc. Havoc goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Bell dings. "Here's your winner, Thump," said announce number 3. Thump gets an opportunity at the man, said announcer number 2. "Yeah, and I hope he..." "Oh no," said announcer number 1. Thump turns around. The title hits Thump's head. The man appears, then raises the title. "This is mine. Mine, not your, mine. And just so you know, I'm serious," said the man, pulling Thump towards the corner, goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turnbuckle. "Oh, not this again," said announcer number 2. The man appears on the top turnbuckle, jumps off, then does a shooting star press onto Thump. Thump groans. The man grabs the title, stands over Thump, then raises it. "What a disgusting display by our champion," said announcer number 1. "Me and you have the same idea. What a pitiful champion. Sneak attacking his opponents," said announcer number 2. "Well, folks, we want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night," said announcer number 1. "Bye-bye," said announcer number 2, waving. The man continues standing over Thump while holding up the title. The end.